Yeah, for last home game, I think going in, these guys really wanted to show the home fans here who've supported them all year a lot of fight. Obviously, would have loved to get the victory, and so they're disappointed. We're disappointed in that fact, but as I told those guys, their fight is never ending, and what we got to do is we got to execute so we can finish off with victories.
What did you see? What did you like? What did you see from Tyree?
Yeah, one of the things, Tyree hasn't played in such a long time that you want to see how he'd operate. Sometimes when you're that fourth quarterback, you don't get a whole lot of time running our offense. And, had a short week of practice this week, obviously, and I thought Tyree did a good job. The operationally, I thought he functioned well. I thought he had some good reads out there, and I thought he moved himself around to allow himself to make some plays. Tyree's a competitor, and so he's going to likely talk about some things he would have liked to do better. But we'll analyze that when we get a chance to watch the film. But I think there were some definite positives from Tyree.
Will he be your starting quarterback next week?
I can't answer that right now.
What did you make of the push towards the end of the game?
Yeah, like I said, always proud of these guys for that. It's a shame that we found ourselves behind like that, but I think it shows the character of these men. And there's a great group of men in that room who will always fight and have a great, immense sense of pride, and they're going to do whatever they can to try and eke out a victory.
Anybody else stand out at all to you? Anything? I mean, without looking at the film, always an unfair question.
Yeah, that is a tough one. One guy I will say, I'm not going to say a small play in the game, but a guy who's been extremely solid for us all year. And they tried to run that fake punt, sorry. And Dan Attaboy, he is always on point in everything that he does. He sniffed it out and fought through a block to make the tackle. Jovan as well does a great job of making sure those guys are on point and making sure that everybody's energy is great as well. The last guy I would say is Braylon Anderson. Braylon, probably doesn't get as much hype as Gino and Justin in our receiving core, but I don't think if you're not deep into the game, you can't really understand some of the great things that he does for us. It's great to see him get rewarded with the ball because he does a lot of the dirty work. Braylon, I always say it, is one of the smartest non-quarterbacks, and that sounds bad, but Braylon thinks like a quarterback, and he knows he understands the game like a quarterback, and that's why he's such a valuable asset to us.
Any more questions? Maybe just about the challenge of the pass interference on the interception and the
Yeah.
first. Could you go over that?
Yeah, so what we thought we saw the guy grab Justin's arm before the ball got there, which it inhibit him from making the catch, and so that's why we challenged it, and they saw it otherwise.
What do you want to see from your group next week in the final stretch of practices?
Well, a lot of what I've seen from them, this is, I guess, that'll be the third game we play going into where we don't obviously have an opportunity to move on. But they came out and they worked hard every single day in practice. We had the short week this week, and still they came back and fought, and you saw, maybe a better performance this week than what we had last week. These guys continue to work, and I expect to see the same thing this week going into Hamilton. At the end of the day, when we talk about different things, we talk about life, and you only have so many opportunities, right? And this time of year, you find different motivations to keep going, and that's what this group has done a great job of.
Coach, from a motivational aspect, how different is it when you're fighting for a playoff position to now where you're kind of winding down the string? As a coach, how different is it for you?
Yeah, well, for me, it's no different because at the end of the day, what we all strive for is opportunities to compete, right? And an opportunity to get better from the week before, and an opportunity, for us to go out and win. I mean, that's how we want to finish this season, is with a victory. And so if you're not continually pushing yourself day in and day out, yes, it's great to have the goal of a playoffs, but if you're going to be successful in life, you have to push yourself through the challenging times. That's when you're going to be successful. And this is a challenging time. And so it's a great time to work on your character and work on the things that you know, if you want to be better every single day, you got to go out and you got to work, and that's what these guys have done.
Tyree, how did it feel to get a start?
It felt good to get a start. Felt horrible to lose, though. You know, that's the only thing on my mind is winning. So, yeah, I go look at the film and everything, but stats don't mean anything. The only stat that means something is the turnovers and the win and loss column. So, just got to be better.
How would you assess your own performance?
I think I finished strong, personally, but again, I did that with the help of my teammates, you know. So I think we all finished strong, and I think personally I can play a better first half to keep us in the game or put us in a position to, you know, be in the game going into the second half. And obviously we were in the game, but just a better start from myself personally. Those first 3 possessions was just piss poor, and yeah, I got to be better.
Did you feel some rust out there, having not started the game in so long?
100% felt some rust, and I don't know if it was rust or if it was just overly excited. You know, like on the first 3 possessions, my eyes were in the right spot, but I wasn't going in the right spot with the ball. You know, and that kind of frustrated me, and it let me know that I needed to calm down, relax just a little bit, and just continue to play by play.
How frustrated has it been sitting around waiting for a chance like this?
Very. To be honest, it's been very, very frustrating. But at the same time, being a number 4 quarterback on the depth chart, you don't expect to play in the season at all. You know, when there's 3 guys ahead of you, you gotta train yourself to not get frustrated. You know, you gotta train yourself to do the things that you're supposed to do on a daily basis, and just coming in every day and, you know, just being with my brothers is what keeps my head up. And other than that, I mean, the frustration level is going to be there, but there's never been one day that I woke up and said, dang, I don't want to go to practice today, you know. Whether that's the love of the sport or whether that's the love of this organization, regardless, it's never come out of my mouth, you know. So frustration and all of that, I try to keep it to a minimum. I don't like to stress myself out. I'm not a big guy to get stressed, and yeah, so that's that.
How do you view your future? Do you consider this an opportunity to show teams that you can be a starting quarterback in this league, or with Ottawa Redblacks, or do you want to be back here? I mean, there's more questions than that.
Yeah, I mean, starting quarterback, backup quarterback, give me a chance to compete, you know. Give me a true chance to compete. And I'm willing to go anywhere. Obviously, I love Ottawa, and I'm willing to stay here, you know, but give me a true chance to compete, and I can only get better. That's all. I'm a great teammate. Obviously, I do feel like, you know, this is an opportunity, but every time you step on the field is an opportunity, you know. We go out and play next week at Hamilton, and that's another opportunity, you know. So I just want to be as great as I can for myself, for one, and then for my teammates, you know. Proving to yourself is everything, but it's hard to, you know, because you know what type of person, what type of player, what type of individual you are. But when you're not executing the way you want to, that could be in life as well. You know what type of person you are in life, but things just aren't going how you want it to. You have a lull here, you have a bad day there, you know, and now it just feels like a completely crappy week, you know. But you just got to keep going no matter what, you know. So it's always an opportunity in there. Yes, I will be a free agent, and I'm not asking to be a starting quarterback. I'll get there. I want to compete for that. I don't want any handouts anyway, you know. I want an organization to bring me in and say, hey, we want you to compete and truly see what I have starting in training camp. And
are you comfortable that you've given everything you can to be in a position to be considered a starting quarterback, like for the last couple of years?
Yeah, 100% comfortable. And I think I think where I struggle with that is just not being a starting quarterback or not being a backup quarterback. You kind of feel like you're stepping on toes when you move into certain roles or try to, correct a route by a receiver or try to, just be a leader on the team or something. Sometimes you feel like you're stepping on toes and you got to know your position essentially. So I'm not much of a vocal leader, but I do lead with energy, and that's something that you can do regardless of your position. So as far as doing everything that, I'm supposed to be doing, yes, I do feel like that.
You talk about not having the feeling ever that you didn't want to come to practice, but you want to be the man. You want to get a chance to be the man, the guy standing behind center. Is that psychologically, mentally difficult? Was this the toughest season you've had because that opportunity seems so far away?
It's 100% the toughest season I've had since I've been in the CFL, and that's both mentally and financially. Like, I'm not struggling, don't get me wrong, but it was hard because I haven't been on practice roster since my rookie season, and when you're making that change, having the thought of, I'm going to be able to compete, it is really, really hard. It is hard. But I did go to school for psychology, so I think that helped a little bit. And I pray. I thank God and I pray. And I ask him to keep those enemies out of my life, I only want to be surrounded around good energy. And if I'm not getting that one place, I'm going to go elsewhere and get it, And that could be within the team, That could be if I'm not getting positive energy here, okay, I'll surround myself around the other 55 guys, whatever the case may be, I love on everybody and everything, but I just don't like to, I don't like to fake. I'm not a faker, I can't fake anything. I'm always real about everything, and I'm always myself. And I think that's why I'm usually always so close with my teammates, coaches, trainers, fans, It's something genuine about me that I do really care about.
Part of the mindset to a quarterback has to be, you have to be confident. It's so important for you to believe you can go out there and do what you have to do. But when you have a season like this, does doubt start to creep into your mind? Maybe, maybe I think I can play, but maybe I'm not going to get that chance. Maybe I need to move on to something else. Does that ever creep into your mind?
Shit, I know I can play. That I'm confident in that, and that's one thing I do know. But, when I say go out there and prove it to yourself, you going out there with the utmost confidence, but you just got to remind yourself. It's like setting an alarm, you got to be up at 5 a.m., but you still going to set the alarm because you reminding yourself to get up. Obviously, it's a different analogy with you being asleep, but it's in the same sense, so yeah, I know I can play football. I wouldn't have been here for 4 years. And I think that's my biggest struggle, too. The fact that I have been here for 4 years. I haven't been released. I'm not getting the chance to play. So that's what kind of messes with the mind. It's like, why am I here if you don't think I can play? Because at the end of the day, if you don't think I can play, you're going to release the guy. I'll leave it at that.
What have you heard when you've asked people, management or whatever, the reasons why you haven't been a shot? What are you told?
I keep those conversations private, But to be honest with you, there's not much of those conversations.
What would it mean to you to get the start next week?
It'll mean a lot, I want to play. Excuse my language, but I want to play, At the end of the day, it's another opportunity to go be great. It's another opportunity to build my confidence. And it's another opportunity to build my resume, So I would feel worse finding out that I'm not starting than I would feel good about being named the starter, if that made sense, Just because then I would feel like I really didn't do anything at all to show that I can go into another game and start, So that would probably be the only thing, but that would be another psychological aspect that I would have to stay strong on.
How was the league game? First, regular season game? As a fullback, quarterback, legs are a huge part of your game. So was there any self-doubt with that as you recovered from the injury and even when you were on the field today?
Nah, not at all, man. I'm 100% healthy. I got a little nick on my calf or on my shin and calf area. It feels like a bruise that's just tight, and so yeah, that's it. But other than that, no, my knees feel great. I'm not wearing a brace or anything, so I feel good out there, man. I feel good.